Hello, everyone. Welcome to this little pop-up reading. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here because it all kind of depends on what else is happening around me. But I decided to do a few more spontaneous readings because you never know who's going to be online right now and who really is hungry for a love reading. You could be falling in love, falling out of love. You could be feeling separate from love. And sometimes in this world today, it can be really hard to find people who get you and who respect you for who you are. And how do you create love without compromise? That could be tricky. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine, and you are at Fish Out of Water Tarot, and it's messages especially for those who feel a bit socially awkward, maybe shy or introverted, and find it a little bit tricky to find love. So I'm just finishing up shuffling the deck, and I'm going to draw a card for the collective for this reading. And because I do so much writing, thinking, meditating, and creating around the issue of feeling more loved, the readings for the collective are often very meaningful for everyone. In fact, don't be surprised if after you get your own reading and you listen to a few of the other cards that you're noticing a similarity, because the truth is the vibration of pure love absolutely is completely different from the kind of love that humans share. I mean, love in its purest form could never harm you. Good morning, Jahan. But love in human form can sometimes harm you because people don't even realize how they're acting. They're not setting intentions to hurt people, but their behaviors can sometimes hurt people. And sometimes you can be kind of terrified to go forward again. Be sure to watch the daily card today because we talked about the fact that there can be victory, and you can be in a place where you feel really good about yourself, but it's just a pit stop. You need to keep moving forward. Okay, so let's pull a card for the collective for when it comes to love today and see what it is the universe has for us. And oh, see, just what I was thinking. There are times, can you get a good look at the card? This is a man who cannot sleep at night. And so the very first two words on this card are unfounded fear. What does that mean? Unfounded. Well, it means that it should not be found, right? So, what is it that we are doing in our own minds that finds fear where none should be found? And so I believe for the readings today, for whoever comes to this little party, will feel encouraged and inspired. That if you've been heartbroken in the past, you're not alone. It's a big club. And that some of what you're afraid of when you're moving forward is unfounded. It's the opposite of finding fear. So as we go through the cards today, remember, hold this energy close to your heart. Have you been disappointed in love? What might be a good idea before these readings even start is to just jot down a quick list, grab a pencil and a paper, and write down the names of the people that have disappointed you in love. And it doesn't always have to be romance. It can be, and sometimes, especially, is family love. Sometimes people abandon people. Sometimes people cancel you because your belief system is different. And so if you've been disappointed in love, you are in the right place. And we're going to talk about that today. So let me tuck this back over here. Okay, so Jahan, you were here first, so I'm going to draw a card for you. And if you all are here for the very first time, welcome. I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot. I've been living life for many years and know a lot about love, love lost, and love found. But I also have been writing for years in this arena because I know so many people, really wonderful people, who can't find a partner and they can't figure it out. And so these days, I'm letting the cards guide our way. I do have a blog that is kind of quiet right now. It's called Breakup Candy. And you can go find me over there, breakupcandy.com. And I've written so many articles on getting over heartbreak. So take a peek at that. Why do I call it candy? Because you have to find that little bit of good in your ex, even though they might have been a terrible person in every way and make you roll your eyes. The fact is that you chose them for some reason. And so there is a little bit of good in them. And when you find that little bit of sweetness, you really can move on. Okay. So, Jahan, let's see what your card is today. Oh, in the intuition card. Vanessa. Well, remember that I can't go into the deepest of personal issues in these pop-up readings because they really are for mostly for education. I am so sincerely seeing your request, but what I suggest is just, I have a Gmail address, TarotInfoPlease at gmail.com, and just toss me a letter over there, okay? Because that way I can give it a little bit more private attention. But for today, though, Vanessa, what you want to watch for, remember, the theme of today is kind of like hidden heartbreak. It's things that keep you up at night. So if your situation has some heartbreak in it, you're going, oh, absolutely, you're coming next. But if your situation holds heartbreak, you definitely want to pay attention to all of the cards that are drawn today, because it's unfortunate, but such a common experience for us. But anyway, back to Shahan. Thank you for being patient, Shahan. Let's take a peek at this and see what it is. Let me just breathe into it for a minute. So it feels like you've been questioning your intuition. It feels like you've been almost arguing with yourself back and forth, like, should I do this? Should I do that? And I want to give you a tip on it. First of all, there are times when it's best that you go internal, that you do not act until you're sure. Okay, so this may be calling you to a time of just sitting quietly. Some people call it meditating, but just sit quietly with your eyes closed and just ponder. I love the word ponder. It is the opposite of worry, because ponder is when you hold good, positive thoughts in your mind. And so when you close your eyes and you're sitting there, ask for your intuition to be stronger, ask to see more clearly. And then whenever you're in doubt, be grateful, which means you just think grateful thoughts. Like, I love my bed. My bed is so comfortable. I love the chair that I'm sitting in right now. I love talking to you guys. So I'll use that terminology. I love this. I love that. And it just brings my energy to a neutral spot. But I do believe you're going to be getting some answers intuitively, and you probably already know, but don't be afraid to ask for that internal help. Okay, Shahan? And now Vanessa will get in touch with your, and now any of you guys who are coming to the, gals who are coming to the call, and you do, I always say that, I feel like I'm on the phone because I am. But when I have a second person. Okay, so you have your SO, your significant other. Remember that the cards are always best when interpreted for yourself. Okay, because you are attracting the behavior of the other. It's like a reflection. And so as if you watch Abraham Hicks, which I hope you do, I love their videos, but they say that we are magnetized for what it is that we see in our life. So if you're having a lot of chaos and problems and hurt in your love life, chances are there's something inside of you that's bringing it forward. All right. So on these readings, and especially because on Sunday mornings, my regular day, I missed last week because of Easter, and I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday. I got to be with my family. It was wonderful. And first time in 20 years, kind of, I've been with family. So it really was good. But I will be on Sundays, so come back for the readings. Plus, I'm going to try to do more pop-ups for people that live in different time zones. But when you come to the call, it's always about our own heart. What is it that we can adjust in ourselves that will attract the best part of others? Okay? Vanessa, are you ready? Oh, hello. I got goosebumps all over my shoulders when I turned over this card for you, Vanessa. And also, Jahan, this card to come right next to your card, to the High Priestess, is very telling because the Magician is a good counterpart for the High Priestess because you're looking at internal belief systems. The Magician is shown with all the tools of the tarot. So it's got the wands, the fire, the swords, the power of the mind, the heart, which is the emotions, and the coins, which is not only money, but the things that you touch. So in relationships, the pentacles are important because you are dealing with another human. And so that interaction that you have, hi Gail, that interaction that you have is tied together. And a lot of times people will find that their financial problems go hand in hand. Hi, Ashley. Your financial problems can go hand in hand with your love problems. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that, or I didn't for a while, that both love and money are under the power of Venus. And we often connect Venus with love. But did you ever consider that love and money and Venus are all connected too? So that's why the magician is in charge of all four of the elements. So, what I'm feeling for you, Vanessa, is I'm not so sure that you are as confident as you need to be. Now, remember, this is not ever about blame because it's not. But many times, if we are creating chaos in our love life, it's because something is chaotic inside. And if something's chaotic inside, only one person can help. Now, I've got goosebumps all over me right now. Maybe some other people on the call do too. But the beauty of the tarot is that each card has meaning. Each card has power, like a light switch. Turn it on or turn it off. So if you're feeling troubled, that means that there is energy stirred up within you. Like I said with Jahan, one of my favorite ways to get rid of the blues, or if I'm feeling upset, is to walk around my house. I'm not kidding you guys. I know sounds kind of crazy, but I walk up to things and I say that I love them. Right now, I'm looking at this chair and I touch it and say, I love this chair. And now I'm looking over at my bookshelf where all of my cards are. And I'm like, I could go through and I could say, I love that deck. Oh, I really love that deck. I love the shelf. I love the little teddy bears that are sitting in the back of my table. And I'm telling you, once you do like 3 minutes of that, you lift your spirits. Does that make your answer come? Well, I can't tell you that, but I do know that when your spirits are lifted, new ideas flow naturally. And remember, whenever you're manifesting, ideas manifest first. Now, I'm feeling drawn to tell a story. Excellent. Yes, it's gratitude. But sometimes if I start saying like I'm grateful for the chair, it feels fake to me. I'm just saying just Catherine. Or if I say I'm grateful for my dog or something, or thank Bella for being in my life, all of those things just don't make it for me. And this is partly like with why certain intentions work better than others, because if it feels good inside of you, it has a different power. So when I start saying I love my computer, I love my phone, which is enabling me to talk to you. I love this pen. The language of that feels better to me. Thank you for allowing that teachable moment. Okay, so what I would say that this tool for you right now is to challenge yourself with inner confidence. Here's how you can do it with a mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and look yourself right in the eye and say, I know, excuse me, I know everything I need to know about my true desires to go forward. Write that down, Vanessa. I know everything I need to know in order to move forward, and then put your current situation in there. I'm telling you that if you're ready, you will know it. But if you say it in the mirror, looking at yourself in the eye, Some people can't even say it because it's so far from true. But it's really hard to tell yourself a lie looking, and by that I mean, again, it's not an accusation, it's just false confidence. If we're not being truthful with ourselves and we think we're confident, but we're really not. Okay, so I'm 100%, some form of this, I'm 100% sure that I am vibrating or radiating the kind of energy that will bring the perfect partner. And if the answer is no, then the idea of developing your own intuition, uh, be sure to take a look at Sonia Choquette. She's got a YouTube channel. She's very good at teaching intuition. I would go to her. And also Louise Hay. You guys know I'm always referring to her because she's just such a good teacher about the inner life. Okay, Vanessa, I hope that brings you wisdom. I feel like the bigger the problem, the more we want the major arcana to show up for us, because it's all about the major arcana, in my view, is about your inner life and how you are thriving on the inside. The minor arcana is how you're acting on the outside or what needs to be changed on the outside. So, with the two major arcana showing up first, I love that. And for those of you who are just joining me, taking a break, I should grab a drink of water here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And we are particularly interested in people that might have some social awkwardness or thank you, darling. Social awkwardness or shyness or introversion that makes it hard to speak up for yourself. So the card that was the theme for these readings is that Nine of Swords. That what's keeping you up at night, what's worrying you, and we brought up the fact that it's unfounded fear, and I love that, unfounded. It doesn't belong there. We don't have to find fear, and so the first two readings were really more about the inner, what we can all do to change our vibration from the inside and have that frequency of accepting love, right? ACC, not accepting, but accepting that we are in a vibration of acceptance and we're willing to love in a brand new way. Okay, so Vanessa and Gail, thank you. And now we're going to Gail. So Gail, let's pull a card for you. Let's see here. This looks like a good one. Ooh, okay. So we have a little sneakiness going on here. So Gail, it makes me wonder if something has been going on lately that has you questioning your own self. That maybe you were involved with something for a while, and then it wasn't what you thought it was. You may have seen some things about a person's character that concerned you. You may be still involved in this situation, trying to wiggle your way out of it. The bird in the tree, it reminds me of a mockingbird. And so mocking, the fact that you feel mocked, or even now, sometimes, you know what, isn't it true that we're hardest on ourselves than anyone else? Isn't it true? So I know in my last relationship, I did need, I'm divorced almost 9 years, and it took a long, long time to get over all the deception that was involved there, because I just wasn't letting myself see the truth of what I was seeing. And then it was like I had a mocking voice in my own head that was like, "You should know better. What's wrong with you?" Right? But I couldn't figure out a way how to change my situation. And still be okay. So I feel like for you, Gail, the thing to remember is that you do have angelic helpers for sure, and that you're not in this alone. It's really important to to accept your losses as you move on, but also understand that you have been, hi Eve, that you have been. I don't want to hurt your feelings at all, Gail, because I have done this myself, where I just not let myself see the truth of a situation. And I felt, yes, Eve, I'm doing just general love readings, and I put your name on the list, so I'll be with you shortly. But Gail, the important thing is to forgive yourself, right? I mean, anybody on the call right now, if you've ever let yourself stay in a situation, you know you shouldn't have, throw in an emoji for us, right? Just throw in anything you want. But everybody has been through times where we've stayed too long, past the expiration point. And you all know with sour milk past the expiration point, it tastes terrible, it smells terrible, and you want to get out of the room. And some of us need to be somewhere until we can't stand it anymore. But look at this character. Can you see that glow around him? Can you see that? So what I'm seeing is that the former connection did have some good in it for you. That group of people, friends, or circumstances that you used to be in, there was some good there. And so now that you're leaving, you're taking the good with you. And because there are lessons learned. Anytime that you have to move on from an uncomfortable situation, there are lessons learned. And so run, girl. If you don't think you're ready, then what I would do is go inside, go into hermit mode, get close to yourself in a quiet environment. Write a list of, here, this is a good thing. Take a piece of paper and draw 2 columns on it. On one side, write what is your ideal situation. Opposite of this, right? So what is ideal for you? Write that all down. And then write on the other side of the paper, just write how many of those things are going on in your current situation. Sometimes if you see it on paper, it really helps. Okay. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask the angels for sure. Every day, wake up and ask angels, guide me today. Help me make the smartest decision I can. Spend time outside in nature and make some decisions. You might need an accountability person. You might need to open up to a friend and say, if I'm still in this situation next month, you have permission to kick my ass. That might get some results for you. Okay, Gail, thank you. And for those of you who are so drawn and you want to talk to me, or I'm not doing any readings right now where I actually talk to people on the phone, but I will make you a private video. And all you have to do is email me at TarotInfoPlease@gmail.com, and I'll write back to you and tell you what that's all about. All right. And also doing a commercial for myself on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m., I think, Central Time. Is that what time I go on? Sunday mornings, I'm on every Sunday doing pop-up pick-up card readings for you all. So now we have Ashley. Thank you, Ashley, for being patient. And you guys know that's Murphy. Murphy, the wonder dog. And I have a squirt gun. And when he barks, I squirt him. And he's learned now that even when I have the squirt gun in my hand, that he needs to quiet down. Murphy, good boy. Good boy. Oh, he's so good, you guys. Okay. Where am I? Oh, Ashley. All right, Ashley. Okay. Hi, Tina. I'll put you on the list. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. If y'all want to drop what part of the world you're in the comments, that would be cool because I love that part of this whole business. And so, Ashley, all right. So, Ashley, gosh, look at that. This is a definitely good news card, right? Okay, let's take a breath into it. Okay. So Ashley, you know what? When I look at this, I feel like you feel like I'm sensing the energy of being kind of stalled a little bit, where the mission is clear, the intention is clear, that a part of you definitely wants to find this kind of situation. The card's just so beautifully stated: a happy marriage, happily ever after, emotional contentment, a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully, people you can trust. So when I look at this, I mean, who doesn't want that? And some of us have experienced the exact opposite. Sometimes you may have been raised in a home where it was the opposite of this. And maybe you were raised in a home where it was exactly like this. All of those things could get in the way. Well, how could that be, right? Well, sometimes when you were raised in a home that was really exactly like this, it felt like a nest and there was tons of love, and you never questioned that your parents really loved one another. It can be intimidating to start a relationship because you think, well, how could I ever do better than my parents? And another one is that if your parents had difficulties and there was struggles and fighting and maybe it was loud and scary, then that can be a barrier because, well, what if you marry the wrong person? So it's kind of a strange card in that way. In a full reading where there's many cards laid with it, we get more details. But in the art of this card, I love because it shows 4 cups behind the family, and then it's 6 cups over the rainbow. So that's what I'm feeling like, that you're in kind of of a, a flux, where you're wanting to walk forward towards your dream and you are taking action, but there's those 4 cups behind and they're not even aware of it. So what that suggests to me, that there could actually be 4 people. Could that be, Ashley? Has there been, count your significant breakups? You don't have to answer here, just take it to heart. But count your significant breakups. Wouldn't that be freaky if it was 4? But it seems to me that there are 4 situations in your past that are just waiting to be dealt with. If these cups were laying down, empty, I would feel differently about them. But I'm just sensing that if you're feeling stalled at all, take a peek into past heartbreak. Okay, you might want to visit my heartbreak. I have a heartbreak blog. You might not have heard, I mentioned it earlier. It's called breakupcandy.com. And there's articles over there about what breakups can do to you on your way to love. So you can take a peek at that. But I would say the main message is, don't get discouraged. Look at the bright, bright light drawing you forward. Your dreams are important. They're important to the universe, to the divine, to the angels, and there is tons of help for you. When it comes to dealing with this kind of thing, I always like to recommend Louise Hay. She has a wonderful meditation on healing the inner child. And interestingly, the healing of the inner child kind of goes through your love relationships. She's wonderful to listen to. So just do a YouTube search on Louise Hay. Okay, Ashley? And like I said, the biggest issue is recognize that you're in a process that takes time. And the more you clear the disappointments from your past, the more likely you're going to be able to manifest something that's really sustainable, a sustainable connection. That's what I'm all about. I don't so much use the word soulmate at this point. I use the words sustainable connection because it just, for me, it makes me feel that that's achievable and I want the sustainability. Okay, thank you for coming, Ashley. For those of you who are new, and Catherine, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. You know what? That really is a tangible joining of your energy to this hour or so. You're welcome, Ashley. When you hit the thumbs up, it is a connector because I know you're out there. So thank you for doing that. Also, if you want more information about private readings, you can. I don't do them live at this point, but I do make your own YouTube video that I publish as unlisted. So you have it. You can watch it again and again if you'd like. And you can go to TarotInfoPlease at gmail.com to get more information about that. And now I need my water. If you're new here, please add your name and I would be more than happy to do a reading for you. I'm going to be here for a little while yet before I get going. And thank you, Brenda, for giving me this beautiful mug, because she knows that I love butterflies, don't we all? But the butterfly is that sign of transformation, right? I love the quote. I wish I thought of it, but I didn't, where the person said some people are like caterpillars that just want to be fat, sassy caterpillars. They don't really want to change into a butterfly. And even though it might be really fun to fly, The fact is that the world I know right now is just fine with me. So give me my food and my couch and I'll just be a caterpillar, And I think the people that find me, they don't want to be caterpillars. They want to fly like a butterfly. So we have Eve next and then Tina. And if you'd like a reading, please add your name. I'll be happy to read a card for you when it comes to love. Okay, Eve. Just a general outlook here. Let's do this one. Oh, Murphy, Uh-uh. Okay, Eve, Murphy's barking for you. Okay, oh gosh, let's take a look at this. First of all, Eve, I want to thank you for standing in this spot because I don't know of anybody right now who's not feeling this energy. And so thank you for standing in the gap for us. When it comes to love, you can definitely be working too hard to get it. And that can just turn out an energy of neediness and energy of desperation. Okay. And that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to manifesting for love, because you could be listening to all kinds of recordings and doing affirmations and vision boards and working hard at attracting love. And that's kind of the opposite of how nature works. I was walking the dogs this morning and the spring flowers are starting to come up here. So it's beautiful. But I was thinking how silly it would be to plant a seed and then be furious the next day because there was nothing there. And I think so many of us have that tendency. We hear these videos and we want to manifest a loving relationship. So we go through and follow the steps and nothing happens. And then we're frustrated. So I think for you, Eve, I would say that the angels are seeing how important it is for you to find resolution, to get what it is that you're looking for when it comes to love. But there's kind of a waste of energy. The wands are the suit of our passion and our energy. So when I look at her, some of her wands are in the basket. See that? But there's a few wands that are lying around. There's 5 of them. So what that shows me is when it comes to you experiencing the manifesting world, that there's cards left on the table, that you're under leveraged. There's something about you that other people see that you don't. So I think that what I'm really sensing here is that you need to grow your confidence, because there's a part of you that is working too hard because you don't realize what your gifts and talents are. So, Eve, here's your project if you choose to accept it. Write down a list of what you're good at, 3, 4, 5 things that you're good at, you're talented at, okay? And then find a family member, a good friend, somebody that knows you, even somebody that knows you at work could be an excellent person for this. And then ask them to write down what they think your strengths are. What do other people think you're good at? Okay. And then if they ask why, you can just tell them you're doing an experiment. You're curious about how people see you. And then be sure to have them email it to you or write it down so that you can evaluate it privately. But just see if they have things on the list that you don't have, because I think you don't see your own talents. And I think this is nothing that's your fault. It's just that the life circumstances have not shown them to you yet. I am a few years older than probably everyone on the call. And so I know looking back, I didn't see things when I was in my 30s. I could have looked at the same thing and I wouldn't have picked it up because I didn't have the experience. And so right now, I feel like your confidence is not as strong as it could be. And I think other people's view of you might change your feelings about that. This piece of you, this part of you that's feeling overwhelmed, the good news is that there's a fresh start right around the corner. See how it's a number 10? I just learning a little bit about numerology right now, and I never understood before why the 10 card was a sign of a new cycle is going to start. I didn't understand that, but now I do, because in numerology, you always add the digits together to get a single total. So 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 is the number of new beginnings. So just be assured that this time for you is passing. You're going to be through this bit of frustration right now, but it definitely will help to take an audit and find out what your true skills and talents are, and then give yourself credit for it. Cheer yourself on. Okay, very good. Thank you for being here. Let me take a breath and grab a drink of water. We have time for a couple more readings before we end. And we have Tina is next. Okay, Tina. Let's see here. All right, let's take a look at this one. Okay. This is a beautiful card. Okay, so Tina. So when I look at this card, the very first thing that strikes me is perfectionism. So I don't know if you have an issue with perfectionism, or if somebody watching does, or maybe somebody you know, but sometimes when you're so demanding of yourself, you can accidentally put out a vibe of that you're hard to please. Okay. What happens is that sometimes if you're very perfectionistic with yourself, it how do you say, it radiates. Okay, so perfect, even though you might not be hard on other people, you know, if you're a perfectionist, if that's true for you and you are radiating that, you know how if you put your hand over a hot stove, you can feel the radiation of the heat. So if people are sensing that about you, sometimes they feel like they need to walk on eggshells, because that they don't want to offend you. They may know that you are demanding of yourself. That's part of your personality, but that makes them cautious, because maybe they think if they're themselves that you won't accept them. So I believe that that idea of being highly demanding of yourself, you know, your reputation is super important to you. You want to be seen in a certain way, but I'm seeing it could be a little bit overboard. So what do you like to do for fun, Tina? You may have laughed out loud when I said that. You're like, fun? Who knows what that is? I always have too much to do. But the easiest cure for this kind of energy, maybe just a little bit of an over demanding energy that things have to get done, is to find something fun to do. Preferably something fun that doesn't cost money. I gave myself that challenge a couple years ago, because it's easy to have fun when you have money to spend. Going to the store and shopping can be fun. It can be fun to go out to dinner and go to movies and concerts, etc. But what is it that's right around you right now that can bring you genuine pleasure? Just pleasure. For you, it might be sitting outside under a tree with a book and a cup of tea. That would be fun for you. But let's look at the word pleasure right now. In fact, go ahead and write that down. Pleasure. And see if you can think of 3 things that you could do in the next week that bring you pure pleasure, because that's really a remedy for a little bit of workaholism, a little bit of perfectionism, and maybe demanding too much of yourself. So that would be my advice to you. If you're living in a part of the world where spring is happening like it is for me, there can be fun had walking outside on a rainy day with an umbrella, not in an electrical storm, please, but just on a rainy day, because the smells and the sounds are just so healing. It's just a wonderful thing to do. So, Tina, I don't know where you are in your love life or what it is you're looking for, but I would say that having a sense of ease and flow, taking time away from work and from the things that are demanding, and really focus on what it brings you pleasure should bring you some interesting new perceptions. Okay. Hi, Anne. Welcome. You caught me in the nick of time. I'm just finishing up. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot, where I try to make Murphy be quiet when I'm trying to do readings. Murphy, uh-uh. And no, seriously speaking, though, I love to interpret the cards for people that are a little shy, maybe socially awkward, not sure about how to get love or how to express it. Family, friends, and lovers, the whole shot. Because sometimes it's easier to throw a text, but it's so impersonal and you can end up feeling lonely. So, yes, Anne, welcome. So, hold in your mind a question that you would like about your love life. Thank you for hitting thumbs up, you guys. I just feel like I crochet. And you know how when you crochet or knit, you're weaving those yarns together. And that's what happens when you connect with me by either hitting that like button or even emailing me. We're connected and we're knitting together energy that is for both of our benefit. So, Anne, let's pull you a card. Aw, I love this card, Anne. So this is a powerful card. This is definitely a card that shows there's going to be movement in your love life. Often this card is presented in a more adult fashion, and it shows uh, passion, physical passion. And so, but in this particular card, though, I just see that childlike passion. And there's an innocence and a naivete that comes with this card. And it's an amazing opportunity. So, if I were reading this, if you were my client and I was doing a love reading for you, I would for sure be excited to pull the other cards around this and see more. But it does show that something new is coming. There's a couple ways you can interpret this because I don't know what your situation is, Anne. One is that it could be a sign that your situation right now is becoming refreshed. If you've been seeing someone or you're in a long-term relationship and it's been a little bit boring, shall we say, this is a good sign that there's something very new coming. But reading it for a single person, this is definitely a card you would want to see. Sometimes people would rather see the Lovers card or even the Two of Cups because there are couples on those cards and it seems more of a direct promise. But to be quite frank, most of the people that come to my readings have had some heartbreak. They've had some disappointments and there's some fear going on about going forward into a new relationship. The card that was our foundation card for this pop-up reading today was the Nine of Swords, which is showing unfounded fear. And we've been looking at all the cards today and realizing that, of course, there can be in our mind some fear and intimidation of moving on to a new person, but life doesn't work that way. I mean, when you think about if a tree gets hit by lightning and the branch falls off the tree, right? So the branch has been cut off the tree and it's laying on the ground. The tree doesn't go to support groups for trees that lost a branch, right? I mean, nature has a way of breaking off things and we have to move on. And it's one of the joys and sorrows of being a human that we can create all these stories in our mind about the fears of moving forward in love when the reality is we're going to have some losses. We're going to have hurt feelings, but we have to get over it. I love that baby dragon too, because it's the baby animal of any kind is appealing, right? And yet dragons can grow up to be hurtful. And so the idea of starting off brand new, Anne, is this is a chance to get really serious about what it is you want when it comes to love. So what I would do is I would definitely start by writing a list of your past people your past significant others, and make sure that you feel clear. Make sure that you feel you've let go of what happened in those relationships. See that little candle he's holding? Let that be a reminder for you that once you write down your list of your last few significant others or any people that have hurt your feelings in the area of love, and then go through each one and just say a prayer for them. I release you. I let you go. What happened, happened. I'm done. Say it however you want, but do a conscious letting go. And then I would crush up the piece of paper and burn it or shred it or in some other way get rid of it, just as a symbol to the universe that this time you're ready for something new and fresh. Okay. And congratulations. This is a great card to pull in a random reading. And there's Murphy. Murph, it's okay, boy. Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to have a quick reading here before the morning ends for me? And thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for being here with me. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And I'm going to draw one more card just to close the reading, and then I'll pop back in. This is just right for me. And thank you for visiting. Come back and see me again. If you do subscribe, they'll let you know when I'm on live. So that's helpful. Okay, so let's close out our reading. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Very nice, everyone. Very nice. So the Knight of Wands is a fast-moving, fiery, passionate energy. So I feel like it's a perfect finish for our Nine of Swords, because in the beginning with the Nine of Swords, we were awake at night. We were still, hi, Davinia. We were awake at night. We were still feeling worried and concerned, like, oh my goodness, how could we possibly go on? I want to be on this horse running away from love as fast as I can. Well, no, 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 that's not the solution. We can't run away from love. We have to run towards it. And so these readings today are all about being afraid and doing it anyway. And the idea that the fear of new hurt coming because the past has hurt our feelings is self-defeating at the best. And if you're here late, there's I'm going to post this, and there's just wonderful readings all the way through for the last 40 minutes or so, and you can tap into them for sure. Because if you're listening to this and you're really wanting to feel loved, the biggest goal is to radiate from inside of you the kind of love that you want to attract. And so if you still do have hurt feelings or you're afraid of going forward, that makes your flame smaller. Okay, so the Knight of Wands calls us to open up and move forward with purpose, knowing that we can attract the love that we want. So thank you so much for joining. Davinia, I did see you. I was supposed to quit, but I'm going to read for you because you put your name in there, because I do have a couple more minutes. If anybody else that's just joined me, if you want a quick card, throw your name in there in the comments, and I'll read you a card. Oh, bless you, Davinia. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, you guys. I really do. Doing these cards is something that I can always do cards if I'm feeling a little blue because of something in my life that's challenging, because telling stories with the cards fills my heart with so much joy. And to know that you guys can resonate with me is like, yay. Again, Fish Out of Water Tarot is especially for people that feel a bit socially awkward, or they find communicating about love is hard because your voice freezes and your tongue gets tied and you don't know what to say. You're in the right place. So Divinia Emporio, hola. And I'm going to have to stop taking names, but I'm going to do my best to get through everybody that's here. Okay. Hi, Eve. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Eve, you know what? I did read you, and I will tell you what card it is, and it's in the recording. Okay. It was a good one. Okay. Okay. So we have the Knight. Who are we here? We have Divinia. Divinia, you are, let's see here. Let me take a breath. I love that these knights are showing up at the end of the reading. In the beginning of the reading, we had a little bit more self-reflection, and now we're having the knights show up, and the knights do come with offers. So I would say that, Divinia, it does look like there is an offer that is coming your way. And what I love to look at this when I see the cup. So see the cup, I'm going to bring it closer. See how he's riding and he's kind of holding on to the horse with one hand, and he's trying not to spill the cup, in the long hair, he's very good looking, nice abs, etc. But let's look at that cup. So what I see with this is that you might be attracting somebody who's just a little bit all over the place, where there's a lot of cute flirtiness and yes, yes, yes. And the message of that is bringing to you is just, this could be somebody younger than you, and you're not used to that, and you may not want to trust it. And I just feel that this person is very well meaning. They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to spill the cup. But look, he's spilling the cup because his timing, he's galloping. Okay, so what I see is in this card is just slow down a little bit. Just slow down. If somebody comes into your life that it just gets you all hot and bothered and excited, just take a breath and slow down, because you do want to be with someone who has their own life in order, right? Somebody who can keep their balance and not spill their own cup. So it's kind of exciting because look at all the waterfall behind, and there's water moving around. So it does look like there's something really exciting coming your way in love. So next, thank you for being here, Davinia. You come back and let me know. Remember, Sunday mornings, I'm on every Sunday for a weekly, and then I do these pop-up readings whenever I feel so drawn. Absolutely. The water is always a symbol of emotions, but it's also a symbol of the Holy Spirit and a symbol of spirit moving in your life. So absolutely, there's something happening, but it's just like, the main thing is, and this came from an earlier reading today with one of the other cards, is to be honest with yourself. And if you see yellow flags or something that's bothering you about the person, just pause and think it over. Use your intuition. Okay, and now we have Valerie. And Valerie, what we have for you is another action card. Okay, so in this card, we have the Two of Wands. And so it's showing two. So the first thing that strikes me is maybe you're going to have two interested people in you at the same time. This is striking me that you are desirable, and that people are noticing you more than you think they are. So I think the first thing that I feel like I want to say is turn around. Um, the reason I say that is because sometimes people can think nobody's noticing them. They feel invisible. And what's really happening is that they have a limited view. Think about it for a minute. There's a real good exercise that you can do. I'm going to do it right now. So I put this card down. So just take your arms and stretch them out straight out from each shoulder, like straight out to your sides. Okay. And then look straight ahead and see if you can see your arms out of your peripheral vision. Okay. And then move your arms back behind you. And you'll reach a point where you cannot, if you stare straight ahead, you cannot see your hands. Okay, so if you put yourself in that position and feel the stretch across your chest and shoulders so you can feel it, and then come back to center, kind of shake out your shoulders, and then realize how much of you are not aware if people are looking at you. You have an entirely, well, excuse me, there's a part of the world that you never see. It's behind you. I know it's so simplistic, and I apologize for that, but it's true. So we can't possibly see the full picture. And that's what I think is happening to you, Valerie. I feel like you're not seeing the whole picture, that you are more attractive than you think you are. I wouldn't be surprised if you had two very wonderful prospects coming your way from the rest of April, coming into spring. And I think that either one would be fun for you. The fact that you could see two people at one time, I love that. I don't necessarily think it's the best idea to sleep with two or three people at the same time, because that can get very, very conflicting. But just to be dating or relating, going out, enjoying the company of the people who are attracted to you. Okay. And as far as your own love life goes with this card, it means you have to get out, go out, say yes to social invitations, take your desires and move forward with them. Okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have a couple of very nice people approaching you fairly soon. Okay, Emporio, we have you. And thank you for coming back. Thank you guys for those of you who visit and come back again. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up so that I can reach over to my phone and hit the thumbs up with you and to have a little joined energy for a minute. And Emporio, and this will be my last card because I do the doggies. It's time for them to go for a walk. And I was, they've been very patient with me. Okay, this card showed up today. It is the card of the day, Emporio. So in your daily card, and for those of you who don't know, I put out daily cards mainly because I need the inspiration. However, what I found is that my friends resonate with the same things I do, which makes it fun. But yes, so this is a card of victory. So Emporio, there are people in your life who are absolutely seeing what has been happening with you. They notice it and they're not afraid to say so. You may have compliments right now where people unexpectedly say, have you lost some weight, Emporio? What's going on with you? Did you get a haircut? But people just seeing something about you that they don't understand. But there's a glow or a vibe about you that is successful. So if you don't feel that way, then I want you to go tonight and look in the mirror as you're getting ready to go to sleep and say, even though I don't feel the way Catherine says I might, the fact is there may be some people watching me, admiring me that I simply don't know, that I don't know about. Telling yourself a truth like that in the mirror can help you grow your confidence. Louise Hay, one of my favorite teachers, has what she calls the mirror exercise. So you can Google that or YouTube search it. Louise Hay mirror technique, and she'll talk about it more. But there is something very powerful about looking at yourself, your own face in the mirror, and complimenting yourself for what you've done so far. And then basically telling yourself, I can do more. I know that I can. I wouldn't be surprised if, hi Aisha, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gave you some kind of promotion or some kind of a sponsorship for what it is you're interested in. That would be a nice treat. But what's most important is self-acceptance and making sure that you are recognizing how successful you are. Okay. And make sure to watch the daily card today. Okay. Aisha, one more card and then I got to go. I got to go, you guys. My time is ending, but I just can't resist. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, you guys. Means a lot. It totally helps me out. I appreciate it. And Aisha, we have another two. So this card is one that it's just showing some juggling. Okay, so when it comes to love, you may find, again, like the two cards ago, so we were talking to Valerie about, or I mean, was it, no, Valerie about could two people being approach her? And in a sense, I'm sensing kind of that same energy, but this time I'm sensing it more like with your work, that you may be trying to juggle your work and your love life. And it's hard because, as I said earlier in this video, that love and money are both under the control of Venus energetically. So this could be very telling for you that you feel like you're balancing, doing your best to hold your love life and your money together. But the thing here to realize is that you may need to delegate here, or you may need to put down something in order to just stabilize yourself. If you could take 5 to 10 minutes a couple times a day just to close your eyes and sit in your chair. Last video, I was talking about the reality that you shut your brain down, like you downshift your own brain when you're awake with your eyes closed. Okay? When you're awake with your eyes closed, you don't have visual stimulation. This isn't even airy fairy. It just gives your eyes a rest. And so if you're just sitting up, you won't fall asleep, hopefully. But this is a great way to recharge and refresh yourself, because I'm sensing that you just are too busy for love. Aisha, I don't know if that rings a bell with you, but make sure that you are that you're able to delegate when you can, and don't do busy work. Get focused. Like when you're using your time, do it mindfully. You might want to YouTube search for Abraham Hicks and put like Abraham Hicks life balance or Abraham Hicks I'm working too much, and they'll just make you laugh out loud. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to go. Thank you for showing up today. We will be back. Pop-ups are going to pop up. I never know. But Sunday mornings, you can count on me showing up. And I think I put 11 o'clock Central Time, but I have to check my own notes. Thank you for showing up today. Go forth and prosper. Remember to plant seeds of love wherever you go. We can be kind to service people, to the people that help us in the store. We can be kind to animals. We can be kind to plants. You can be kind to the planet by picking up litter every time you're out, right? But the more seeds of love we plant, the more loving things we will harvest. So go forth and prosper, and I'll see you next time. Bye.